Well, Newshour viewers would know that if there's one thing that doesn't impress us here at times now, it's symbolism and handshakes. We've seen a lot of it, so there's absolutely nothing new, apart from the fact we have a new Prime Minister shaking hands with another relatively new Prime Minister. Symbolism apart, what happens after the handshake is what we are more interested in. MJ Akbar, national spokesperson of the BJP, and Maroof Raza, our consulting editor and strategic affairs expert on the Indian side tonight. And joining us from Islamabad, Lieutenant Colonel Shafqat Saeed, defense analyst. Javed Hussain is joining us from Lahore. And Air Vice Marshal Abid Rao. Thank you very much, everyone, for tuning in. Air Vice Marshal Rao, what do you feel has been achieved beyond the handshake? I found very little.
If the two prime ministers meet once in a year, and that too on formal occasions like the UN General Assembly or at Sharm el-Sheikh or any other third place, well, I will not call Delhi as a third place, but if it is so infrequent, then even handshake, smile, a facial gesture becomes a breaking news for Indian media. Our media took it very normal in a way. And I'm surprised pre-visit and post-visit comments coming from Indian media, I mean, they lack depth. Today, after his press statement, I mean, you said this was, I mean, he should have admitted to you. I think he should have just come and seen and held a debate with you instead of your Prime Minister. What both Prime Ministers have said, I thought it was a positive gesture. What your media has failed to even, I mean, you're in a state of denial that you're talking about Kashmir with a letter K. Remember, you're talking about 26/11, that is 2008. What about 1948, when you have gone to UN on Kashmir as a disputed territory? You don't want to do that. This is a state of denial for your leadership and for your media particularly. So therefore, unless that is resolved,
you see,
remember, Arnab, there can be another war, there can be another provocative thing. War has not ended anywhere in this world. War option, you know, you don't treat Pakistan like America treats lots of nations. You're talking about, you know, hot pursuits. You're talking about do more. That is not the language we would like to hear from India or Indian leadership. Talk on equal terms and talk about both sides' problem. You are not in a position to give only demands that you have given 5 demands. There are a lot of demands against India. You better address them also if you
In any case, let's open up the debate. 1 second. Let's open up the debate. I'm going to get MJ Akbar in and then Maroof Raza in on that. What happens after the handshake? MJ Akbar, to you first.
Arnab, I mean, we all must remember that this was an initial handshake. Therefore, it could not have been a handshake of agreement, but we hope that it was a handshake of good intentions. Now, you know, bilateral issues of contentious bilateral issues are not really on the agenda for SAARC. But I would like to point out that terrorism is a multilateral issue and is a genuine SAARC issue. There are many forces in Pakistan, I think perhaps you may have heard one already, who actually believe that you can play a sort of slightly duplicitous role with the likes of Hafiz Saeed. May I just like to remind them that Hafiz Saeed and his ilk, and that great ilk of those who believe in terrorism, they don't have an agenda just for us in India. They also have an agenda for Pakistan. You know, I think that this is a moment we are on the precipice, on the edge of a very, very dangerous moment in the history of South Asia and what might be called South-West Asia. And that is that in 2015, NATO will be gone. And I think that those forces which believe that they have defeated first the Soviet Union and then NATO will actually ratchet up their war against all. And they have two objectives. One might be called the FAR objective. The FAR objective may sound absurd to you and I, but of whether it is of an Islamic caliphate or whether it is Islamic space or whatever you like to have it. I know this is the wrong term to use because I am a Muslim and I hate to use the word Islamic in the context of such violence. But however, one is that objective, but in the near objective is the creation of instability in all the regions, including in Pakistan. So this is a point, this is a moment really when the governments of India, Pakistan and Afghanistan in particular, and I liked your interview with Hamid Karzai was very good indeed, Arnab. The three governments in particular and all the other governments must really work together against the coming war, because that war is going to be extremely dangerous for the region. It is going to be very dangerous for us, but it is also going to be. I was just reading a book just now on Karachi. And if you think that the role of terrorists is confined to the border areas or to certain parts of Pakistan, and this book, there's 71, whatever the zones of Karachi now, where the Taliban, the violent Taliban, has a very, very substantive presence. This is the level of the infiltration into Pakistani space that has taken place by the terrorist movements. And we all know what Hafiz Saeed is doing. We all know what the ilk is doing. We all know that they want to change within Pakistan and they want to turn Pakistan into a citadel which will foment terrorism into all regions. Actually, I believe that this will extend even into China and to Xinjiang. So we are on the edge of a dangerous few years, and this, for God's sake, is a time when we should leave the rhetoric of anger aside and work towards a cooperation between nations in all self-interest. In self-interest, we must cooperate and work together.
In Pakistan's interest, if I may add.
Yes, absolutely.
If I may add, in Pakistan's interest, and yes, therefore my next question goes to Javed Hussain and Colonel Shafqat Saeed. Let's get our guests from Pakistan in first. Sheshadri, Chari joining the panel, and GD Bakshi is also on the panel. But tonight, let's hear from the Pakistani guests first. And the point being made here, Colonel Shafqat Saeed and Javed Hussain, either of you or both of you, I'd like you to respond to that. MJ Akbar says, do not get on the defensive. That Narendra Modi told Nawaz Sharif that please do not continue not to have any action against Hafiz Saeed and the masterminds of 2611. It is in your interest right now to take Narendra Modi's message as a message of goodwill and not be reactionary to the message because it came from the new Indian Prime Minister. May I get your response, please, from our guests in Islamabad and Lahore? Yes, I think Javed Hussain first.
Yes, I think the first point that I would like to make is that when Mr. Nawaz Sharif received invitation from Mr. Narendra Modi for visiting New Delhi, there were two opinions in Pakistan. One was in favor of his going there in the interest of peace and development of the region, and in the hope that Mr. Narendra Modi would be able to rise above his past record and his his election rhetoric. The other opinion was that he will not be able to do so, that he will be tied down and held back by his past record, his past convictions and his election rhetoric, and therefore Mr. Nawaz Sharif should not go. Now, there are two opinions. Mr. Nawaz Sharif took a risk by accepting the invitation and going to New Delhi in the hope that Mr. Narendra Modi would be able to rise above these past his considerations.
Rise above
and
what?
That he would be able to have a visionary, his past record, of which you are very well aware, his election rhetoric, his past convictions that he has expressed
This
from
is not
time to
election
time in the
rhetoric.
past several
He is actually
decades.
speaking the voice
No,
of the entire people of India on 26/11. There is no political divide in India on 26/11, sir.
Let me finish. These were the two opinions. Mr. Nawaz Sharif took the risk and he went to New Delhi in the hope and in the expectation that in the interest of regional peace and development, Mr. Narendra Modi would be able to rise above his past record and petty considerations. Unfortunately, I think what I have seen and heard today
What is the petty
that Mr.
consideration
Narendra
about
Modi has proved himself to
26/11?
be a-
You have
to be
not acted
following-
against the
to be following
26/11
a-
plotters. I'm sorry. No, Mr. Javed Hussain, I'd like to just a minute, sir. I question the use of the word petty. What is no, sir? 1 second, sir. Just a minute, Mr. Javed Hussain. Allow me to question you on this, and Maroof wants to come in. Sir, my point is,
I will tell you.
Sir,
will you let
Mr.
No, you cannot
Hussain,
keep on speaking
your
on
country
your own.
has not acted
if you
against
invited me-
26/11
if
plotters,
you have
one of
invited
whom
me
is
to
Hafiz
speak,
Saeed.
you have
You
to
have
let me
repeatedly said there is no credible evidence to prosecute him. He is a free man in Pakistan and he continues to spew venom on India. All that Narendra
Listen,
Modi
if
has
you don't-
reminded
if
your
you have
government
to-
is that you have not taken the action. Now, I don't think there is anything
you-
petty.
if you have-
I think it is very fundamental.
If you have to keep on speaking and if you will not let me speak, there is no
unless you
need
want the
for
Prime
this,
Minister of India and the Prime Minister of Pakistan to meet and discuss gardening.
Will you let me speak also, or you want to speak on keep on speaking yourself?
No, I took objection to what you said, the use of the word petty. That's all. There's nothing petty about what he said.
Well, you can, if you invite me to speak, then you have to listen to me, and then after I finish, you can respond. What I'm saying
no,
is
but
this,
Mr.
that
Javed
Mr.
Hussain,
Narendra
there is
Modi,
nothing petty
by
about
his-
the massacre
by-
of 167 Indians.
What was so elevating or edifying about the massacre of 2,000 Muslims in Gujarat? You have forgotten about that?
No,
Who was responsible for that massacre?
The massacre of
You
Shias?
see,
And then
The tribute therefore given to
let me
you know,
finish.
this.
If you don't want
Sir,
to
okay,
listen,
you
then
can
why
finish
do you
your point, but
invite
I
us
think
to
we have a
speak?
right to counter you on this. Well,
No,
I
you
certainly
let
would
me
like to
finish,
hear you,
then
but
you
I
can
certainly,
counter.
Mr. Javed
You can
Hussain,
see what
if an Indian panelist want to counter you, they have a right to. Maroof Raza wants to counter you. Yes, go ahead, please, Maroof.
We have also a right to counter you when you are criticizing our
Mr.
Prime Minister in Pakistan. You have no right to do that unless you are prepared to
There
listen
is no
to our
criticism.
Mr. Hussain,
There is
Mr.
There
Hussain.
is Mr. Javed Hussain. Mr. Javed Hussain, Mr. Javed Hussain, first of all,
Hussain.
there is nothing petty, and the
Mr.
Prime Minister
what
of
Mr.
India has
Modi
come
has-
to power. The Prime Minister of India, Narendra Modi, has come to power on the back of an unprecedented mandate in a historic election in this country. So I request you, sir, please show the same respect. I have said nothing disrespectful about your Prime Minister, but you do not have a right
I
to
am
insult the
sure-
office of the Prime Minister of India when I'm simply raising the points that he has put before
the
your
same-
Prime Minister.
same
If
applies
Nawaz
to you
Sharif
as
found
well
those
as-
issues
same
petty, he would have said
applies
so.
to you.
He did
Arnab.
not.
The same
Maroof.
applies to you when you are talking about Pakistan. You cannot insult Pakistan and the Prime Minister of Pakistan.
Mr. Hussain,
What I want
Mr.
to
There's
tell
nothing
is
I
Hussain,
this.
said about your Prime Minister.
Mr. Hussain,
Maroof.
Mr. Hussain,
This is no way to conduct
Mis-
an interview.
Mr.
If you want
Hussain,
to keep on speaking
let
and
me-
keep on
So
interrupting
that's all
me, I
right.
think I would
Please.
Mr. Hussain, please.
That's the way we do it.
Maroof is
Mr.
responding.
Hussain,
Maroof, listen to the other side, Mr. Hussain.
Mr. Hussain, we've patiently heard you.
Yes.
Now please hear another point of view.
No, I am not.
Please hear another point of view.
You have not let me finish.
Please hear another point of view.
You have not let me finish. The point I want to make is that Mr. Narendra Modi...
Well, the whole program, Mr. Hussain, the whole program is not going to be dedicated to your speech.
Well, I am not prepared to listen to you this kind of thing when you don't let me
So please listen
speak.
to others. We've heard you.
Keep on interrupting.
We've heard
You
you.
keep
Just
on...
listen to him, sir. We'll keep an open debate after that.
Mr. Hussain,
You did not let me finish.
Mr. Hussain, please. We've got your
Why do you
point.
invite
We've got
us
your
if
point.
you
You've
don't
got to
want
be
to listen?
brief and you've
No, you
got to
haven't
be
got mine.
precise.
I wanted...
Please hear.
I want
Please
to
hear
do
the
is-
other point of view. Please hear the Mr.
No, I
Hussain.
want to say precisely that Mr. Modi
what I'm
has
trying to
not
say is,
proved to be a
Mr. Hussain,
visionary
please hear me
leader
out.
today.
Mr. Hussain, will you stop interrupting? Mr. Hussain, stop interrupting and please hear the other person out. We've heard your rhetoric.
Forget it.
What I'm saying is, let's take it up from where Mr. MJ Akbar has given us this big picture. Mr. Akbar has rightly brought out that moderates, I still see you as a moderate. I still see Air Marshal Abid Rao as a moderate. But moderates like you have begun to secede space. You're giving space away to the Hafiz Saids of the world. The United States doesn't declare somebody a terrorist with a bounty on his head unless the person's track record is serious concern to the world and the international community. I mean, there are a number of guys walking around with AK-47s, but they don't have an American bounty on their head. The second point to understand is that what we in India see as mainstream in Pakistan, which are people like you are gradually being marginalized, and the fringe of people like Hafiz Saeed have begun to dominate your society. Because in every society, history has shown, when you use terror elements as proxy elements to further a foreign policy agenda, eventually they dig in their heels and they begin to bite the hand that feeds them. Now you keep talking about Kashmir, you keep talking about Mr. Modi having condoned the massacres. Please ask yourself a little question, look into the mirror. What about the massacres of other Muslim groups in Pakistan, which is a regular occurrence? What about Karachi, where 8 to 12 bodies lie
Maroof.
bullet-ridden every day? I don't say it, the Economist says it. So please understand, the point we are making is that unless you address the issue of terrorism within, you will continue to wallow in it and you will take the whole region with you. And that is a concern. Nobody, I think
Maroof,
Mr. Nawaz Sharif,
in fact,
showed great sagacity. Mr. Nawaz Sharif showed great courage to come
Maroof,
to India.
let's get Shafqat
My
Saeed
hats off to him. But what next? Can you give us a route chart?
You see, yes, you see, and 1 minute, Maroof, and by the way, before I take the discussion forward with Sheshadri, Chari and GD Bakshi joining in, I want to make one point to our guests in Pakistan, especially Colonel Shafqat Saeed. You see, Colonel Shafqat Saeed, I want to go back to how MJ Akbar began the debate as I get you it. MJ Akbar said today this is a common threat that we all face. The threat from radicalization, fundamentalists, terror groups, quasi self-appointed military establishments. This threat is a common threat. It is a threat to the people of Afghanistan, the people of Pakistan and the people of India.
I agree with you. If you want to repeat the question, you don't need to repeat the question.
No,
if the same is the question, I want to reply it.
Yeah, no, I just
Do you want
to
my
add
comment
one
or you
small
want me
thing
to
with
hear
your
you?
permission, Colonel Shafqat Saeed. No, one small thing. I want to play this is what Nawaz Sharif said. Nawaz Sharif had said, if I become Prime Minister, I will make sure that Pakistani soil is never used against India. He said this in his election speech, rallies.
Yes, we don't want to use our soil against anybody. What to talk of India? Whatever Mr. Nawaz Sharif said, he said correctly. But I want to bring out 2-3 things. Mr. Modi won with great majority. That was an internal affair. Once it comes to international affair, he is to tackle Pakistan. And if he starts with the tone that he has started now, that is that he has placed his 5 demands on something which dates back to 2008, we are not going forward.